Hey, bitch! Okay, we're back with another Get Ready With Me. Here I'm letting you know that I'm about to go eat Korean barbecue, if it wasn't pertinently obvious. I hadn't had it before, and let's just say it blew my mind, and I'm going tonight too. So let's get started. So we're going in with the KVD Lightweight Full Coverage Concealer. This is just to color correct a little bit of darkness. Lately I've been finding like a little bit of kind of purple cast under my eyes lately. Need more sleep. And maybe some water. So I'm just giving this a quick Fix Plus spritz so it's nice and wet. And I'm tapping my kind of really dense brush under the line of my eye. And once that's there, I'm dragging it onto my eyelid and then over on top of the oh my God, I can't talk today. Up the eye, up to your lower lash line. And we're hugging the inside of the eye, if you're like me, a little bit deep set. You have some shadows around your nose. So we're just trying to cancel out any dark tones here. And you can see I'm just tapping. Remember, if you have that wet base down, it does all the work for you. Just make sure it helps you blend seamlessly. So here we've corrected the color. And I mentioned in my other videos, you can always take a concealer instead of like a peach or an orange to color correct. You can take a concealer that's maybe a shade or two darker and use that as well. Now I'm going in with the Hourglass Veil Tinted Moisturizer. And it's going to be on I believe the 06 Sephora brush. And as always, we're going to have a spritz of Fix Plus onto the brush before dipping into the product. And I tap it right on the tip of the brush, work it in there, and we're starting from the inside out. So tapping the inside and dragging it outward. Same thing with the forehead. And I do like a little bit under the eye. If you're really going to do a really like eyeshadow, then you might want to put down a base. Your concealer is perfect for that base. You don't need to go out and buy another base. That'll do just fine. You can put that down with a flat brush. We'll get into that on a more glam day. Okay, now we're going in on the other side. Taking the rest of what's left on the palette and just bop it into the skin. You can see this Hourglass Veil leaves such a beautiful finish. It's just like skin-like, but better. Super glowy, super healthy. Your skin kind of shines through it. You can definitely build it up in some areas if you need a little bit more coverage. I tend to do that, whatever's left on the palette at the end. I'll spread it between the middle sides of my face. Hey, Scooter. Wiener dog. Okay, now we're going with the Dior Forever Concealer. And that's just to brighten up the area. So I'm going to pop like a dot right under the eye. Just like that. And then outside the eye to lift up. Just follow your natural lash line. Boom. And that gives you a nice little lifting effect and brightness. I do the tip of the nose just so that pops out a little bit. Kind of like an exclamation point. And make yourself a little mustache. A little chin strap. And then this is just to lift the cheek. And then I'm concealing anything that needs to be concealed. And voila, there's the famous map right there. Now, as I said before, if you need more coverage, you can go ahead and take a fan like this, or even have an electric fan. You can use one of those. And you can basically cook it in. So if you need a little bit extra coverage and you're not using a lot of product, go ahead and air dry that a little bit. You can even just let it sit for a minute or two. And that'll really give you a nice coverage. So when you go to tap it out, you'll see it gives you a little bit more loving. Instead, if you just blend it out with some Fix Plus. And you can see I'm keeping the concealer underneath the eye, not too close. We don't want a lot of product under there. We don't want any buildup. We just want to conceal what we need to and then mesh it in with the rest. The finger, I always tend to take my finger, the nose, I always tend to take the tip of my finger and just bop that in. I feel like I have a little bit more control, and it also helps warm the product up. And like close to these lashes, I try not to get the brush near them as well. Boom. And you can see it makes such a nice little complexion there. This is one of my go-tos, this combo. Amazing. Yes, booch. Okay. Blender on in. Okay, great. And you can see with things I'm trying to cover, I always pull my hand to the end of the brush so it doesn't have a lot of pressure. Just really gently Really gently tapping it in there. I was feeling myself here. All right, now we're going in with a She Glam product. This is Golden Sun, and this should just be for a light contour. This is kind of my go-to lately. It's a very gray, natural shadow kind of look. I don't like to look like I'm wearing streaky bronzer. I just want a little bit of definition back in the skin once we've covered, you know, all of our all of our dimensions with foundation. You kind of seem to lose those natural shadows. So it's just kind of putting these back in. So it's very nice and dimensional, not flat, healthy, chiseled, sexy. Shortening the nose here. And now I just take it down the neck. Everything you'll see, whatever's on my brush, I will always add to the chest or sometimes even to the shoulders, to the ears, what have you, just for a unified kind of look. Awesome. Okay, what are we going with now?
Cool. Now, powder.
Okay, now we have the KVD lightweight setting powder, and I'm just going to gently set in the center of my face as usual, probably with my 108 brush. Oh no, we're taking a fluffy brush. Aha. Okay, so now I'm going to do a really gentle set all over the face. So this is really going to take away most of the shine of the face, and then I can go in with my highlighting products and put it where I want it. And it's just going to set the whole face, gives you a nice little base to work with. I like this for when I want to use a highlighter and I really want to sculpt the cheek or really make it pop. You want to put the glow where you want to put the glow. So in order to do that, you need to matte out the rest of the surface. So you can see it's still healthy, it's still a natural finish. I would say natural finish, yeah. Opposed to glossy or satin or matte. Cool. Once I tap in, then I feel free to roll the brush all over the face like so. And there you have it. Nice and clean. Okay, now we're going to go in with a little bit more cheek product. Here's me deciding what to use. Here's Alex again. Oh my god, I think I should just keep him, popping up in my videos for everyone. He can be a little cameo appearance. Thanks, Al. Okay, now we're going back in with the Kelly Osbourne and Sharon bronzer. Like I said, one that's very similar to this is from Hourglass, and it's almost like a very lightweight, very satiny, very kind of warm and cool tone, I'd say, kind of neutral bronzer. And I'm just loving this. I'm really sad, obviously, they don't make something similar at MAC anymore, but I believe it's called Hourglass Veil as well for the powder. So you can see I just went around the perimeter of the face. I give a little swoosh, like a little circle right under my cheekbone, and that just really gives you a nice little carve out right there. And now I'm taking MAC. Let's see what this is called. I'll put it in the description for you, but this is one of their, it's not a mineralized blush. And it's not one of those pop blushes either. Forget. But these create a really nice sheen. I like the peach lately if I just want to really, if I want to go in with any type of color on my eyes or lips, I usually use a peach. In this case, you'll see what we're going to do. That is stunning. So I love this because it almost gives you a highlighter with it. It has a gold undertone to it. So it kind of saves you having to put on another product. And the blush is kind of in the area we want the highlight to be anyway, as a natural glow, as opposed to like one you put like a little sharp look to. Okay. Now we're going across the forehead, the nose, the chin, anywhere the sun naturally hits you. And then sometimes I just smile and I just take a line right from the upper apple of my cheek up to the temple. And that just gives me like the perfect little sculpt. Boom. God, I love that. Like I said, I just love making these videos now because I'm pulling products I haven't used in such a long time. It's really awesome. Next thing we're going in with is a little bit of MAC Wedge. This is so multi-purpose. It's definitely a cult favorite. Right now we're going to go and do a bit of eyeshadow. I like Wedge. It's just a super neutral brown, almost, well, cool tone brown. And like I said, I'm not a super big fan of eyeshadow, but I do like accentuating the eyes. It's probably my favorite part to do besides lips, I'd say, and skin. Are there any other parts? But this is a way to really look awake and kind of flirty. So what I'm doing is just taking the shadow and I'm making a circle from the corner of my eye up to the crease of my eye, rolling it inward. And the opposite eye, you're going to roll inward toward your nose as well. Circle, 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 circle from the corner up, so upward to the crease and into the crease, just like that. And that gives you a really nice open, kind of flirty effect. Nice. I'm taking that, as it's also kind of a contour color, I'm just scooping it over my nose where I would put my bronzer, just so everything's tied in. And then I'll go ahead and just flick out just a bit, just to give you like that little foxy eye kind of look. What I'm doing here is basically making the center of my eye drawn upwards, and that's basically going to give me like kind of a dolly effect. And you'll see what I end up doing here. But when I do a bold lip, I really prefer that the eyes just be a little bit more quiet. I think for me, it just can be too much. It looks like I have a trick for you. That's usually the face I make. Aha, okay. This didn't come out as smooth as I'd planned, but this is the way that I like to use tape when I'm doing eyeshadow. So most people will take the tape and they'll put it down on the skin with the sticky part. No. I turn it around and I just use it as a stencil on my freaking fingers. And then you don't even have to lose makeup underneath or worry about, peeling something off or ruining something. Just hold it up to your eye just like that, and boom. Then you can just throw it away. I like it too because when I do shadow like this, I don't always like that the angle is just going up in one. It looks a little bit unnatural to me. So what I'll do sometimes is hold it at one angle, and then I'll pivot it and use it almost like a stencil again. So I'll show that in another tutorial, but I like this if I just want a little bit more crispiness on the outside. It also just puts it exactly where you need it every time. Amazing. Cool. Now we're gonna on the other side. A little bit cumbersome, but it does the trick, especially when you already have like makeup underneath. It would not be a good idea to put tape down on that. Okay. And now we're just taking again, circle, 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 inward. And that's it, and repeat the motion. But you see, now we're just building up, and I'm taking the shadow up almost like to my eyebrow in the center, and that just makes my eyes look a lot more open, a little hazy. Boom. Going back in. At this point, you could start this as your base color and then take a darker shade and go a little bit inward. I'm going to do that when I do an eye tutorial for you guys. But playing with tape, I mean, it really can get you started in your makeup career. I think we all started that way. Let's see where we're going now. I told myself we have to start pulling products first before I start the video. I just get so excited and start moving. Okay, now we're going in with the Charlotte Tilbury highlighting wand. She decides not to go with that. Oh, Hyper Real, okay. This is from MAC. This is my go-to palette. It's got kind of like a cool tone, a pink tone, and then a warm gold. Sometimes I just mix them all. I'm going on I always call this a right angle on my cheek. You can see it's the tippy top of your cheekbone and right onto the brow bone. The center of the face, tip of the nose, over the lip, and the chin. And they're the highest points of the face that you want to stand out. I always do like a little underneath each lip because I have a downturned mouth. Now I'm going to take the gold. Oh no, this is the champagne. And right at the tippy tip, just to snatch a little bit. Yeah, boom. A little light bulb moment. And then whatever's left on my brush, I just kind of throw in the center of my eye. Not too close to the inside of the eye, because that's when you get boogers. Now we're going in with Makeup Forever contour powder. And we're just going to sculpt out the nose a bit. I'm making almost like a U under my nose, so I'll follow the natural shape, and then I'll just kind of cut it off right as it ends. And this gives me a little shorter of a look. And I'll put a little shadow under the lip. And now we're going in back with the highlighter. Oh, yeah, you got to use your finger for the tip of the nose. You have to. I sometimes use a pencil brush, but there's something about the oils on your finger, the way it taps in, and just gives you such a nice glow. Just make sure you actually look at where you put it on your finger, so you expect it to land where you need it to. And you see how snatched that looks? Super. Yes, girl. Oh, now I'm getting carried away. Amazing. Look how nice that looks. Kilowatt. All right. Okay. Crazy neighbor. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, now we're going back in with Wedge. Same exact shade. I'm just filling in the brows a little bit. Any sparseness. Filling those guys in. I try to draw along with the hairs so it's as natural as possible. This is my little bitch of an eyebrow, but we make it work. Perfect. And if you ever get too crazy with your brows and they just look insane, there's two things you can do. Number one, take a spoolie and just run it through and grab any of that extra product that's stuck in there. And number two is to take kind of like a small dense brush and stick it in some transparent powder, roll it over your face, and then roll it over your palm, and then go over your brow with that. And it'll just calm it down a little bit. Sometimes if you do brows after makeup, it looks a little harsh. And let's see what we're going in with now. Okay, this is the MAC NW25, I believe, Studio Chromographic Pencil. I'll put it in the description, but man, this is an old school one. This is awesome for getting more of an open-eyed look. So I'll just pull my eye down a bit, put it right on the tear duct, and you can see it just gives you like that more of a awake kind of dolly effect. You can even set this with shadow if you want to, but it's doing the job for me, and it really lasts all night. So it's more, it's less white and less kooky looking and more like your eyeball color, and that's giving the illusion of the eye being awake more. So if you wake up hungover or tired and you have to go to work, this is a nice little trick. You can do that, crimp the lashes, a little mascara, you're good to go. Okay, now we're going in with some mascara here. I'm leaving the top lashes alone because I have some falsies on at the moment. And then we have our bottom lashes, nice and separated, super cute. Drying out. Okay, now we're going to prep the lips with the Prep and Prime from MAC. I like this because it's like a double-sided tape. It fills in all my little dry spots. That makes my, whatever I roll on top, super, super smooth. And I love it for any bold lip. You must put something down. I wouldn't recommend Vaseline for some reason. The products really don't stick to it that well. If you must use it without a chapstick, you can put it on your lip and then blot it off on your skin. Here I'm going in with the Morphe Vibes lip liner, and you can see it's almost like an oxblood. It's freaking awesome. And we're doing a bold lip today. We are doing, you'll see next. I like this because it's kind of like a brown red. That way, if you're not fully committed to a red lip, you're not getting that effect, but it's going to be similar to my shirt, actually. And always the name of the game is laying the liner on three things at once: your skin, your lip line perimeter, and the inside of the lip. And that makes a nice sharp line. And then I go ahead with a lip brush, and we're just smoothing these lines out. And you can see it never has to be totally perfect. Do your best, of course. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. But you can even scribble some liner onto a brush and do it that way when you start. Absolutely. It's just going to take you a little bit longer. but it's done for sure. Amazing. So now we've got a nice fat lip. We're just going to fill in the outside to give it a little dimension. Just color in the corners. Awesome. Boom. That is so pretty. I love that stuff. Okay, now we're going in with MAC Viva Glam 3. Oh my gosh, I love this color. This is also like an oxblood, deep reddish brown. I always called it like dried blood. Blood of thine enemies. And here I'm just popping it on the upper lip, lower lip. I'm going to give a good smush. And then you can go in back with your pencil or your brush and just marry the two together real nice. You can also, if you want to do a lip like this, like a crazy color or a dark lip, you can also do like a nude pencil. That totally works, and it really changes the color too. So it can calm a color down. For example, if you wanted to do like, a bright red, you could put like a neutral brown down first and then put the red in the middle, and it becomes less intense red. I'll have to do that. It's really pretty. Amazing. Go, girl. Now we're going to do a little trick here to make this last, because I'm about to eat Korean barbecue, so there's a lot of oils involved here.
Trick.
Here she goes. So what you want to do is either grab a tissue or a cotton pad, and I'm just thinning this out a little bit so it can see through. Pop it on your lip, and you grab a large brush, put it in some transparent powder, and pat it over your lip really, really generously. And what this is going to do is basically lock your lip products in. It really helps with transfer, and when you feel it, it feels kind of like powder, like a powder kiss. Completely dry. Awesome. Amazing. And they lasted too. We were taking pictures. I ate, I drank, everything. They didn't move. And this is not waterproof lipstick or anything, you know, just little tricks. Finishing off with a good splash of Fix Plus. And voila, guys, there it is. I hope you like it. This is a banging ass color. Again, like I said, it's so fun to discover all this new stuff and, well, old new stuff. But yeah, I hope you like it, guys. See you next time. Bye.